Hello, welcome to another development log for my game that I'm working on, which is title named, project named Persistent Mechanics. And I've finally finished up with the editor utilities. This here is the editor utility for editing NPCs. As I've stated before, you can select actor references and edit specific actor references, or you can select a class. And this is the same case as far as items goes. You can also do the same thing with items. So if you were to go into the editor utilities and pull up the list for items, it's the same thing, but for items. You can edit item references in the world. You can edit a class. But another cool thing about the editor utilities is for items, you also can edit references inside of inventories. And a quick showcase would be right here. You can see we've got this generic NPC, and you can go to the inventory, and you can actually create an item inside of an inventory reference. And you can edit the class, or sorry, not the class. You can edit the type of item it is. And it's only going to read that it's read only when you're editing a class. And so you can determine all kinds of information about the stuff. You've got all kinds of different data fields. You got basic data. You've got more complex data like AI packages, dialogue, social affiliation, you know, all that stuff. So that's good. Haven't done anything for body data yet. That's going to be model related and whatnot, but that'll come in time. Dialogue is set up, and I'm very excited about this new dialogue menu. You can see that we've got all kinds of dialogue options, and I expect basically every NPC in the game to have these dialogue options at the very least. And this is a lot of basic stuff. So like you've got three types of greetings for most NPCs. Basically, you've got the normal greeting, the greeting where they like you, and the greeting where they dislike you. You can see here that there's functions, and you can go ahead and add relevance tags with this function or with this dialog option. That's a function, and you've got yield requests. This is basically like where you are trying to surrender in a combat scenario, and you can see that it's got conditions. It checks if there is combat going on, and it checks if they like you enough to let you live. And if they don't, then you'll instead get the failure version, where instead of actually doing the stop combat function, they will instead do the end dialogue function. Same thing with the spare. Spare is kind of like the same thing, except you are offering to spare their life. And I currently don't have it doing any different conditions, but the idea is that it's basically going to check their confidence level at some point. There's the generic rage bait dialogue options, and the rage bait dialogue options are essentially where you can insult characters. Now, for what reason you would want to insult someone, I'm not sure, but the option's there. And they'll have a different reaction based on how they perceive you. If they don't know you, they'll just kind of, react, kind of in a normal way. If they like you, they'll be offended And if they really don't like you, then they'll just tell you to fuck off. And they'll actually end dialogue in that kind of scenario. There's also the generic Ask Rumors topic. And essentially this selects a random topic in the rumors tag. And then there is the goodbye topics. And again, they'll what they say to you is based on your relationship with them. I haven't, written anything special yet. They all currently just say goodbye, but you get the idea. Different farewells based on how they view you. And then finally is the generic repeat last. And this is so that way you can have NPCs repeat whatever it is that they just finished saying. And an update from how it used to work, now you can actually get them to repeat the last thing that they said, even if you just click on them. In the past, you needed to have them say it before you exited dialogue, but now you can do it from that menu. Additionally, so let's see here. So we'll go ahead, we'll open this guy back up. And you'll also notice that I've added a lot of nifty little features. I've added the ability to copy and paste different data fields. So if I wanted to make a new dialogue topic, right, you can see here it's pretty empty. But if I wanted to kind of copy and do a template real quick, I can copy a topic and then paste it in there. And you can see now it's got all of that same data except the topic ID, which you can just set on the fly. And this is the same thing with conditions and functions. You can copy and even just with the list, right? So we can copy this list and we'll close that out, and then we'll open up a different NPC. And you can see here we're going to clear out all these topics, and we're going to actually hit paste, and it's going to paste all of those topics that we copied from the last guy. And same thing here with conditions. We copied a condition earlier. We can actually paste that condition. We'll copy get Outlook. We'll make a new one, paste, and you can see it sets it to be the same exact thing. So let's see here. I think that's about the extent of it. I've gotten the AI packages to work again. You can see that this NPC is the pickup item tester, and he's going to walk his way on over to an item that he has in his AI package. It's that key right there. And he's going to go over there and he's going to go pick up that key. And then once he picks up that key, he'll switch to a wander package. And you can see that he just waits 20 seconds. And then he will inevitably go ahead and do a new AI package. I'm just checking the time real quick. You can see here that this is a representation of the in-game time. In the moment that enough time has passed, yep, he moves. And I've actually got a little keybind real quick. I can manually change the time. So I just went ahead and bumped it up by a full in-game minute, and you can see that he moved. So I got that working again. It broke temporarily for a while when I was reworking a lot of the code, but it's all good now. No worries. Melee is mostly functional again, which is good. It's got some quirks, but for the most part, should be good. And it's just a process, getting everything back to a functional state for a demo. And if anyone's got any input, I would love to hear it. Very excited to be done with editor utilities. That was probably my least favorite thing about working on this project. But now that I've got the editor utilities, I plan on putting a lot of work into them. As you can see, I've already gotten started, making a nice baseline, so I can go ahead and add all of this to NPCs. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good night.